Welcome to All Stars TV, and pleased to be joined on this episode by our two founders for All Stars. We've David Grant and Gareth Hubback. Gents, evening. Thanks for jumping on our little show tonight. How are we doing tonight?
All great, Craig. It's a pleasure to be here as always, and looking forward to the grilling.
Yes, same here. Good to see you, Craig. It's been a few weeks, so yeah, looking forward to it.
There's no grilling. It's just a gentle conversation, as always. There is a reason why obviously we have the founders of our All Star weekend. We only wheel them out for the important gigs. A little history for those who don't know. Obviously, this weekend we have our first mini event, the Cymru All Stars, at the Vindico Arena. 4 brand new Welsh All Star teams taken to the ice for a little mini event. That's come about because All Stars over the years has grown. We started in 2008 with a single event of just 2 teams, 1 game. I think it was $3,500, something like that, for the first one.
Yeah.
Over the years, it's grown and more teams and a 4-team event now, and now the main event has now grown to an 8-team event. And we'll come to why the Cymru All Stars is a thing. But in terms of fundraising, the fundraising kind of, I say, from that small start, we had a milestone in 2017. We passed £500,000, and then fast forward 2023, we had the thing at Cardiff when we passed £1 million. And now, just a short time later after that, today we can say the All Stars fundraising since day one has passed £1.5 million, which is fantastic achievement from everybody who's ever been involved, and just basically for yourselves who kicked things off all those years ago when we were also young and fresh faced as we are now. David, you can start us off. What do you first thing when you say 1.5 million? What's your thoughts?
It won't sink in. The million never sunk in. To think, like you say, that one event, 2008, and we thought we'd done incredible just to get that to where it is now. And you're talking of them numbers. Yeah, it don't, if in my mind it don't make sense, but you know, you look at it and you look at the hard work that everybody who's been involved then and now in this weekend, whether it is the main one or the mini one, as we'll talk about. It's not surprising because a lot of people, we put a lot of effort in as yourself with the committee, but the fundraisers, the players, the ones who really do get us over the line, they're putting even more effort. You're seeing over the year, you know, different events, different unique ways of fundraising, and in times where funds are tough with people, to see, you know, the numbers grow and grow is beyond a testament to that work, and it makes you proud to do this, and a phone call all them years ago to see what it is now. You know, we were talking before recording. It's like, you know, 1.5. It won't, like I say at the beginning, it won't sink in, but it's definitely a proud day for everybody who's ever been involved in the All Stars.
Yeah,
I think we've always said we're the vehicle, they're the engine, they're the horsepower, and boy, have they've revved their engines, and the engine's got bigger and bigger every year, and the vehicle's just grown, and it's their hard work, it's the fundraisers' hard work, and it's incredible to see year on year.
And you say how they've revved. It's only 2023 when we passed 1 million. I don't want to like blow everybody's mind with number, but that's £500,000 in 3 years.
We should have started sooner.
Yeah. Well, you can take that regretting whatever.
It's crazy when you put it in that context, Craig. You know, like I say, 2023, and we all were just recovering from the pandemic and everything that panned from there. And now you're talking like 2.5 years later, or, you know, another £500,000. Yeah, like Gareth said, it's, you know, the engine and the power of that has just gone bigger and bigger. And yeah, it's just it's beyond mind blowing, but it's a testament to all that hard work.
and the causes as well. Obviously, the amount of money is fantastic, but the range of causes and the different types of charities for your big national charities to the small local, and the introduction in the last few years of the barbarians has kind of even widened the scope of the kind of charities we're able to support. Can you remember the first two charities out of interest?
Yes, I can. I can remember it was Cowboys versus Indians as well.
Yes. And that was Dreams Come True, because we was helped. And the reason I say that, because as we're recording this, there's been the services tournament in Sheffield, and I saw a jersey from 2012 that had a little patch on the back in memory of a lady called Shoyna Lloyd, who at the time that we got together, as in myself and Gareth, and kind of talked about doing this, she was an incredible help to our event starting. The Dreams Come True was the first one, and then Breast Cancer Care at the time. It's obviously now Breast Cancer Now. Were the first two ones, and the two that we've said that will always be, unless they no longer exist, will be our part of our events.
Yeah, and like you say, the big national charities, but then when we've made it the local ones, and obviously coming to Cardiff this weekend, bringing on T Haven is fantastic, and obviously the bond we've built with that. Likewise, we've done the last couple of years with Bluebell Wood now in Sheffield, and then the Barbars. Everybody's able to raise for their own individual charities. So the range of charities and the amount of money is on both sides is just enormous, Gareth.
No, yeah, absolutely. It's we're probably over supporting 54 charities over the years now, with the introduction of the Barbarians and the various charities that the people on the Barbarians have paid. And the model we use as well via it's all fundraising via Just Giving. The event itself is obviously with the registration, it just covers the ice time and people's jerseys and socks. And that's pretty much all that really covers. But all the fundraising which people do goes straight from Just Giving straight to the charities. So we're not a conventional setup where people on the committee will take anything out of the event. Everything goes into the event, whether it be via the purchasing of obviously what the people wear, or from the money from Just Giving that goes obviously directly to the charities. And we do that for transparency, and also we do it to try and maximize that amount of money that goes into making people's lives better the best way we can for them to maximize that effort.
No, fantastic. And I say over 50 charities just says it all. Have you got a favorite event or a moment or anything catch your eye over the last £1.5 million, David?
I think the Sean Phillips story was a bit of Disney in itself. There's a load. There's some that we can't talk about on here. But what I'll say off that, it's the friendships that have been built over the years. Never mind the ones that myself and Gareth, I know yourself now, have been able to get. But you see other people, the friendship they build, and I mean, we've even had a wedding of people meeting at All Stars. It's them little things that you kind of go, and it's a slog putting this event on. Never mind the players when they're fundraising, the captains that we ask of them, and the committee to put this all together. But you see them things and you go, it's worth it. And never mind the big benefit of the charities getting the benefit, but just the little things, it's like, do you know what? It's worth it. So if you want a moment, I go there, but there's so many little ones which leads to other stuff that, like I say, maybe not be able to mention on here, but stories that a lot of people remember and laugh about when they reminisce about previous All Stars.
I'm going to go with Dave as well, and this is the fringe benefit of the All Stars. Yes, we raise lots of money for charities, but we also do a lot of awareness raising. But through people forging friendships at the event, when you see all the Facebook pings the day after, it's the actual. There's unquantifiable things that happen after the All Stars. There's unquantifiable things that happen to your mental health when you're actually organizing the All Stars, and when you're at the event and you're sitting back and watching, and you can't measure it, but you can only but smile and feel proud of those things. The money, I'll never get over the money raised. I'll never ever will. You can't think of those type of numbers. But what you can quantify and what you can see is the smiles on people's faces, the hugs after the presentations, the fun and joy in the nights out, then people getting together then for secondary events, getting together for things like walking up Pen y Fan. We've had an alumni Help for Heroes games. There's been loads of those sort of stuff, and seeing actually people from all over the country go into those events as well, not just the main event. It's those things which is just like, we got a mantra in the Barbarians, leaving the world a better place than we found it, and everyone in the All Stars does that automatically. It's something we all rightly should be very proud to play a part of it. And I know we don't sing our praises enough, and because we're pretty much modest people outside of that, and I know it's one of our downfalls as an event is the promotion of the events, and but I also love it because of that organic feel of that as well. And yeah, one day we'll sit back and maybe get a clap or two. Who knows?
Write the book and sell the Hollywood themes, the film script. That'll be another.
Yeah.
Just as we said at the top, as we sit here, the Cymru All Stars is tomorrow. It's already happening as you're listening to this now on YouTube, etc. Kind of how we come to this point. I think we said after last year's main event where we had another record total, that single event had probably reached its peak on what it could do in a single All Stars event. So the only way you could, and there was no way of making extra teams. I think 8 over the weekend that we've got. The format is as big as it can get, so there was nowhere to go for that. So the only way would be to have a second event, and this is where the Cymru All Stars came about. So obviously we're in Sheffield with the main event this year, so put a mini event in Cardiff, and again that spawned 4 new All Stars teams. We've got a Cymru version of T Haven, Welsh Hospice Hockey, Kidney Wales, and a Welsh Barbarian. So Hubs as the Welshest one here. Do you want to start us off with how those conversations came about and how we got the tournament that's taking place as we speak now?
Yeah, you pretty much nailed the thought process. And we were at the event last year in Cardiff, and I spoke to Dave and a few other people, members of the committee again, and we were just, an idea popped in the head. And I think Scott, for the captain of T Haven, was like, it's always a shame that the other year they lose momentum. And we're like, well, we can't grow the event. We can't grow the weekend event. As you say, we've got 8 teams, and that's as far as we can stretch where we can go for ice hockey. There's very limited number of places in the UK who can cater us, Ice Sheffield being one, because they've got the 2 pads there, and obviously the Vindico in Cardiff have been great supporters of the event. So even though they're now down to 1 ice pad, they very graciously give us the use of that 1 ice pad for the one weekend now every 2 years, but they did do a couple of years in a row for it. So we started to think of, is it viable to do something slightly smaller, something that targets, helps T Haven so they can carry on the momentum. So T Haven was an automatic first team within that. And they thought, well, if we do, well, we can't really go 8. we can't go that big straight off the bat. We want something to supplement Sheffield. So we thought, well, actually, what about a 1 day? And then we looked at that, looked at the ice time. We came up with the idea of 4, which is a number we've had before. And then team wise, obviously you got the Barbarians. So that same ethos again, the same reason we brought the Barbarians in. So we're like, straight away, there's a Welsh Barbarians team we can do there. The caveat on the Welsh Barbarians is they're only raising for Welsh charities, whereas obviously the National Barbarians team can raise money for any charity they want. And then it was 2 other charities. Kidney Wales is the Cardiff Devils charity partner. But apart from that, a good friend of mine, Gareth, who I've played ice hockey with for a number of years ago. I've known him for a number of years, and some of his friends played hockey with him as well. And some players from the All Stars have also played on the same team Gareth played for. Unfortunately, lost his wife Miffy, which I know the story was told on that. So that was a no-brainer charity. We also worked with them at the cricket club as well. And yeah, that third charity was a no-brainer. So then approaching Gareth as team captain, again, absolute no-brainer on that one. The fourth charity is the Welsh Hospice Hockey. My sister is a chaplain at St. David's Hospice, and that's where my mum was originally going to go for her end of her life, which is coming up to about a year ago. But she actually went then into Marie Curie, and we've done some work with Marie Curie previously as well. So automatically we're like, well, there's two hospices we would like to support. And then somebody else mentioned another hospice that their family had to use the services for. Obviously the Rachel story as well, which you're aware of on that one. So we didn't want to single out one hospice. So similar to the Barbarians, we decided that actually would form a Welsh hospice charity teams as well. So that's the reason for the four. And yeah, I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say the amount that's raised on that one. Oh, it's well, they'll know.
It's already happened in the real world. So yes,
we did announce, I think, on social media on Friday, £35,000, but just it's actually gone over £40,000. So I think that's pretty much blown our expectation of that as a being a standalone event and made it all worthwhile straight off the bat. So yeah, we've now got the main event, obviously, to look forward into July, and now we've got the starts of a good supplementary event, and then it's over to Dave to see what he does with a possibly smaller event up in Sheffield next year, because obviously the proof of concept is there.
Yeah.
Or
and this mini event, David, as Gareth has said, and it seems to have taken, following on from what we experienced with the main event. It kind of comes along, and then in the build up to the weekend itself, it just kind of goes through the roof.
Yeah.
The Cymru event's done the same. It's kind of the fundraising's been going along, and then just over the last, not even week, the last few days, it just seems to have gone 30, 35, 40, and it's still climbing.
And there's an unbelievable auction going on at the moment. There's with Kidney Wells, there's a chance to win an iconic Current Oil Cardiff Devils Stephen Cooper jersey and a GB Stephen Cooper jersey too. That one jersey itself, the same iconic jersey where Cardiff won the penalty for the famous penalty shootouts against Murrayfield. So if some lucky person is going to have be walking away tomorrow with an unbelievable jersey, and I'd imagine that's going to raise a fair bit as well.
Yeah, no, it's been fantastic to see, and as Hub says, David, the proof is there, the plan is there for what the mini event can look like. So next year when the rules are reversed, we'll see what can transpire up in your neck of the woods.
That is the challenge, yeah. But I want to add something in terms of what the Cymru event has also done to the main event, because as you all know, you've seen the numbers that register, and we are blown away with the amount of people that want to take part. And we, 2 years ago, we had to expand the lines and people on per team, but that still had people that weren't able to take part. Mm-hmm. With this event, you now have even more people taking part in the brand of All Stars, whether it is the main one or the mini event. So that in itself it is a huge plus in that respect. And I've seen, and obviously when I spoke to Gareth about it, the success already of that one. So it'll be a fun challenge to equal that one next year when we put it together, Sheffield. But the same thing, it's, you're getting more charities that are benefiting. The local charity that the main one gets a yearly support, which I think is probably the main benefit of it all from everything else. So yeah, it's giving life to the weekend, and it's just making it more exciting, truth be told.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic to see. And I say now that once tomorrow or today or whenever you're watching this, the Cymru event one that's in the books. This time travel stuff's hard, isn't it? It's today, but it's tomorrow, and it's Saturday, and it's anyway. I don't know how Doctor Who does it. but once obviously Cymru's out of the way, then obviously the attention. Not that there hasn't been attention, because we're nearly at 100 grand for the main event anyway, so that's still remarkable. But then attention will shift to Sheffield and the build up to the end of July as always. So I'm sure we'll catch up with yourselves and the committee and some of the captains in the build up to Sheffield. But for now, I think unless you have anything to add for the Cymru event, I think we'll draw a veil there and wish everybody well for an event that is already happening, that hasn't started yet. And it's been fantastic. The 1.5 is amazing. Credit to the, as David said, the committee, all of the players, the volunteers, all the fundraisers. It's been fantastic to be part of it for these last few years as well. So long may we continue, and all power to the All Stars.
Yeah, big thank you again, as you say. Big thank you to everyone for everything they do for us. To the people like yourselves and everyone behind the scenes. The vehicle runs because of our volunteers behind the screen, behind the scenes, and yeah, what a fantastic job by all the fundraisers and sponsors as well, the company sponsors. So can't thank you all enough.
Fantastic. We'll draw a veil there. David and Gareth, thank you very much, and we'll catch up with you soon.
Thank you very much.